A season of solitude turns boys into men. And what you have to understand is that a lot of boys are not willing to be alone and figure out the things that they need to figure out within themselves in order to be a man. There's a lot of boys that like to hang around other boys. There's a lot of boys that like to party. There's a lot of boys that try to fit in. You feel what I'm saying? Instead of understanding, man, I gotta go through a season where I just need to work on me so I could be the best version of myself. I just need to go through a season of that. And we live in a society that is trying to tell us that, oh, we always have to be around people. Well, if you always around people, how are you going to figure out the purpose that is destined for you? Every man goes through a period of isolation and solitude. And he has to figure out who he is, what he wants to do, and who he wants to be. And once he can figure those things out, then he's able to match with the right friend group and with the right people who are similar to him, or even people who are different, but who he finds value in and he can learn from, so he can be a better version of himself. It's very hard for men to never go through any sort of isolation period and make it out on the other side. And for a lot of people, it sounds crazy because it's like, man, I don't want to be isolated. I want friends. But the truth is, what you need is the current season that you're in. And if you are in a season of isolation, then that's what you need. And you have to learn from it. You have to grow from it. And you have to see what you can gain from it, because it's always something to gain. There's never things happening to us that's just for no reason. And if you think it's for no reason, then it'll end up being for no reason, because a part of you truly does create your reality. So if you think that you're isolated for no reason, there's nothing you can gain from it, then it's going to be very hard for you to gain what you're supposed to gain. But the truth is, you're supposed to be building yourself up. You're supposed to be figuring out your life. You're supposed to be figuring out what you want. You feel what I'm saying? You have to take care of yourself first before you're able to take care of other people. You have to take care of yourself, provide for yourself, support yourself before you're able to support, provide, and be there for other people. You got to be there for yourself emotionally. You have to be there for yourself mentally. You feel what I'm saying? Spiritually, before you're able to be that for anybody else. You have to keep your own promises that you make. So if you make a promise to be successful, then you have to keep that. If you're making a promise to yourself to go after your goals and dreams, then you have to keep that. You got to keep these promises that you're making. You know, you can't just speak about something and never do it. You can't just speak about something and never accomplish it. You can't just speak about something and never try it. You feel what I'm saying? So, just like that loud car that just passed by, the reason why a lot of people make that car so loud, yeah, they might be fans of vehicles, but part of it is because they like the attention and they like the validation from other people. They like to make loud noises in people's quiet neighborhoods because they love validation and attention from other people. The importance of isolation and solitude from boyhood to manhood is the fact that you finally learn to validate yourself. You finally understand that you don't have to be an attention-seeking man, you know, because there is no true man that keeps seeking attention. It just don't make sense. A true man does not seek attention. A true man commands attention. There's a difference. Boys seek attention. Boys seek approval. But we only seek purpose. We only seek God. And we only seek things that are seeking us. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all have to understand that, because a lot of y'all do things for the validation. A lot of y'all do things because you think that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to hang around these groups of people because I always known them my whole life. What that got to do with who you are becoming right now? Like I said, every boy has to go through a season of isolation in order to become a man. Every boy has to go through a season of isolation in order to become a man. Every boy has to go through a season of isolation in order to become a man. That does not mean that you need to purposely put yourself in a season of isolation if you're not ready. If you have community and it's good, that's great. But you still should be taking time aside to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, pouring into yourself, and doing good for yourself. You have to create time and space for that. And it's not something that you force, it's a season. So there's going to be seasons of your life where you will naturally just be in isolation. It is not something that you have to force upon yourself. Do not do that. It will naturally occur. It will naturally happen. You will start to see you trying to call people, check up on people, they're not answering. It's not their fault. That's God telling you that you just need to focus on yourself. You trying to hang out with people, people's schedule is busy, that's not your fault. That's you realizing people have priorities. You need to have priorities too. And you're not always going to be number one on people's priority list. And you should never be number one on somebody else's priority list like that. People have to make sure that they're taking care of themselves to even serve you in a capacity that's even logistically possible. And you have to do the same for yourself. You have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, doing the things that you need to do, and making sure that you're doing good. So at the end of the day, it's not about being in the club, hanging out with people 24/7. It's about purpose, bro. It's about doing what's needed in order to take your life from one level to another level. It's about doing what's needed to take your faith from one level to another level. It's about doing what's needed to bring that discipline from one level to another level. It's about doing what's needed to turn that motivation into fire and fuel. It's about doing what's needed to turn your story into fire and fuel. It's about finding your why, finding that reason that's going to wake you up each and every day, each and every morning, each and every living breath that you take. Does it have purpose or not? Does it have intention or not? There's some people not taking life as serious as they should, and that's okay. Because when you look at the results, you have to live with it. It's not about comparison. It's not about my life, your life, somebody else's life. Everybody got their own life. Everybody got to do what's good for them. I'm just saying there's going to be seasons of isolation that you should not run from. It's here to teach you something. It's here to show you something. It's here to give you some sort of knowledge and wisdom. There's so much you can learn from those seasons of isolation. But you got to be what? You got to be present within that season. You have to acknowledge, yes, I'm in a season of isolation and I'm going to learn all I can from it. And you have to start asking yourself the serious, hard-hitting questions like, why am I here? What is my purpose? What am I going to spend my time doing? And what is my reason for waking up each and every day to go out here and get it? Because there's always going to be distractions and there's always going to be reasons why you don't reach your full potential. But instead of making excuses, how about we start executing to the highest possible levels? How about we start executing so we can be the best version of ourselves? How about we start investing in ourselves? Time, whether it's time, money, energy, resources, so we could be the best version of ourselves, because that's only going to help us in the long run. That's only going to help us in the right now. Life is all about progress. You never truly reach the destination. It just keeps going. You have to appreciate the journey. You have to appreciate the dream. You have to appreciate the present moment. So what are we going to do with it? This is a season of isolation, and this season of isolation is going to make you into the man that you need to become, because it's going to teach you certain things. And if you're watching up to this point of the video, put I'm locked in. Put I'm locked in, okay? Put I'm locked in the comment section. So one of the first things it's going to teach you is that you cannot depend on everybody. You feel what I'm saying? You have to start building systems in your life where you can depend on you. You know, that is part of manhood, where you realize I cannot put my full faith, I cannot put my full trust in something or someone outside of myself. Sometimes we have to do that. There's moments in our life as men, whether we're very old, you know, we need people in our family to hopefully step up and take care of us, or we're in a nursing home. Things like that happen. That's the natural progression of life. Or you're a baby. Everybody was once a baby. Somebody's taking care of you. You're not able to take care of yourself. You're a kid. You're learning what it is to be a boy. You're learning what it is to be a man. And then once you learn how to be a man, you take it from there and you're able to take care of yourself. You're able to take care of those around you. You're able to take care of the family that you have created, and you're able to pour into that, you know, your children, your wife, whatever it is. So I need you to understand that season of Isolation is going to teach you how to go from boyhood to manhood, because it's going to teach you that you cannot depend on every single body. Everybody's not dependable, but the one person you could always depend on is yourself, and of course God. You feel what I'm saying? You can always depend on that, and you could depend on it to be a brand new 24 hours, bro. The world does continue and the world does keep spinning, so you could depend on that too. The second thing that the season of isolation is going to teach you, to carry you from that boyhood to manhood, it's going to teach you the power that you have within yourself, man, to just accomplish the goals that you have. You know, you don't have to live the life that anybody else wants you to live. You know, you start to realize that you got the power, and you always had the power. You know, you have the gifts. You always had the gifts to go after the things that you want. You know, when you start going through that season of isolation, you start to realize that you can do anything you truly want with your life, and the power is in your hands. You feel what I'm saying? So it's up for you to either follow that plan or derail from that plan, go away from that plan, or leave that plan, right? You could either do what you want to do in life, or you can do what other people want you to do. And that season of isolation, you're going to have to make a decision, and you're going to have to make a choice to see where it will take you. You see what I'm saying? So you'll realize that you have the power to change your life, to make your life better, or you submit that power to other people in your life. People tell you, oh, you should do this, you should do that. You're 18 now, you're 19, you're 20, you need to do this, you need to go to college. The truth is, you need to do what's best for you. You feel what I'm saying? If you going to college, you taking out all this debt, how is that really going to help set you up for life in the long run? You have to make sure that you know what you're doing, and you have to make sure you're taking, when it comes to at least financial decisions like that, like taking out $40,000, $50,000 in loans, $30,000 in loans, that you're calculated with that, and you know what you're doing. You can't just go to college because your mom told you to go to college. You need to go to college with a game plan. You have to understand what you're doing. You have to think deeper. You have to understand finances. You have to understand certain decisions. You have to understand the implications that decision making will give you. So no matter what you do in life, this is the phase where you understand you have the power to change your life, and you have the power to make certain decisions, and it's up to you to look and think about the factors. You feel what I'm saying? And see if you can make the best decision for yourself. That starts to come through that season of isolation, where you, again, like I said, realize that the power is in your hands to change your life. And last but not least, what happens in the season of isolation is opportunity. Like, there's going to be opportunity for you to still hang with people. There might be opportunity for you to, form a relationship with a woman. All I'll say is this: you have to know if you're in a season of isolation or not. You have to claim it, and you have to be that and do that. If something is meant for you, there's no way that it's just going to leave you. Now, if that person seems to want to come in your life and bring forth value and help you achieve your goals and dreams, and, they might help you figure out who you are. They might tell you things about yourself that you never seen before. That could be helpful. You feel what I'm saying? That's why brotherhood is important. And having a good woman by your side, that's something that you just can't replace. That's a great thing. So if those things do come into your life, I'm not going to tell you to deny those things. I'm just going to tell you to make sure that you're still putting yourself first in this season of isolation. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and make sure that you're pouring into yourself instead of just you pouring into everybody else. You still have to figure out your life. And before somebody else walks into your life, whether to be your friend or be in a relationship, you have to figure out your life. You have to make sure your life is good. You have to be working on something that's going to bring you from this level to the next level. Okay. So, season of isolation is powerful. It definitely turns boys into men. And it lets boys know, at a certain point, it's on you. The life that you want to live, the decisions that you want to make. There's going to be people in your life telling you, don't do this, don't start a business, don't do that. Or some people will tell you, start a business, don't do this. Bro, you have to do what's best for you, because at the end of the day, if you're not happy, it's going to be messed up for everybody. Your energy is going to be off. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be happy, and that's not good. Take care of your mental health at all costs. Take care of your happiness at all costs, and just go from there. You feel what I'm saying? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We drop videos like this every single day. Shout out to the chosen ones. Shout out to the people who watch the full video. If you watch the full video, type full video. just know I appreciate you. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Stay purpose driven. Peace.